Later, walked out the doors of this house.
She's my daughter.
And was never seen again.
We're searching on horseback.
Still no sign of Hailey Dunn.
We're searching on foot.
Hailey may have been kidnapped.
We're searching on ATVs.
A lot of buzz surrounding Hailey's mother's boyfriend, Sean Adkins,
Who may be holding the missing piece to this puzzle.
They failed the test.
He was the last person to see Hailey alive. Still no sign. Combing the fields and retracing footsteps.
There's so many hundreds of miles to cover.
She's a 13-year-old baby. I don't want her back.
You name it, we're out here.
Where is 13-year-old cheerleader Hailey Dunn?
Do you believe Sean or Billy, one or the other, or both, know where Hailey is?
I think that's a very good question, and they're actually working on leads just to the nature of that. You know, they're pursuing, I think, a logical sequence of questions that would come right out of reading the things that you've read on the affidavit.
To specifically answer that question,
We are taking your calls. Back to Billy Dunn. This is Hailey's mother. You know, is it true that while your boyfriend, Sean Adkins, has gotten a defense lawyer, you yourself have not hired a lawyer? You don't have a lawyer?
No.
One more thing I got to ask you. You have told me, and we have asked police, and they tell us they cannot confirm it, that a neighbor sees your daughter Hailey in your backyard around 12 noon talking on the cell phone. That would be the Monday she goes missing. But police say they've tried to verify that, and they cannot. Are you positive? And what neighbor is it?
He's actually living in a neighbor's house. I think his name is Charles. The man that owns the house is Travis, but he told us that he's seen Hailey in the backyard, and he said he told police that also.
Okay, because we've asked police, and they're telling us they cannot verify it. And if that's true, that means that nobody absolutely can positively say they saw Hailey since the night before at 10 o'clock when you saw her watching TV. Now that changes the whole, it's a whole new ball game. If we cannot spot her, your son comes home, your 16-year-old comes home at 4 p.m. the next day, Monday, Hailey's not there, the boyfriend's there. And your son says he beats on the door, he can't get in, takes him 5 minutes, he has to get in the house, nobody will let him in the door, and he sees your boyfriend, and your boyfriend, he says, has a deer in the headlights look. This is at 4 p.m. But, Miss Dunn, I did not invite you on tonight just to rake you over the coals about these various inconsistencies about the New Year's Eve party. I want to hear what you have to say tonight.
Well, I wanted to come on to clear some of that up. I don't want to be perceived as a bad person, even by people who don't know me. But the main reason I'm here, I don't want people to get away from the fact that the whole reason we are here and we are talking to media is because my 13-year-old daughter isn't in my house. Somebody knows where she is.
Billy Dunn, what do you think has happened?
I don't know what to think at all anymore. It's, to me, my mind changes from 1 hour to the next, but right now it's not feeling good to me that I'm going to be able to hold my daughter again. Or that I'm going to be waiting for her to come in from school too.
Up until
I'm
now,
scared to death that somebody hurt her.
up until now, have you believed that Hailey is in some other town hiding out? But why would she hide out? And why would your boyfriend tell police she's promiscuous? That doesn't even make sense. That's not true.
It isn't true. I don't know why he would say that. We've never thought that. I did talk to Hailey about birth control once or twice. She didn't feel the need to even think about it. We talked about it, I don't know why he would say that about my daughter. No, but me or Clint, neither one have ever thought she was promiscuous or having sex.
You know, look at her. This is a little girl. She's an all-American little girl, scrubbed in sunshine.
She's a baby.
Look at her. She's 13. And I don't understand. I've got a big problem with him even saying that. But another thing has come up in the investigation. When police searched your home, they found that you had printed off at work. You didn't just look at it. You printed it off and brought it home. Stories about serial murders, motive for murders, family murders, sexual sadism. Why?
They were stories that I thought I was interested in reading. I read true crime stories. I get on crimelibrary.com. The stories weren't laying out. They were up in a box on top of the closet because I wasn't reading them, either because I already had or just because some of the stories weren't interesting. But they did make me feel bad and told me it was strange that I read things like that. But I'm just interested in people that aren't like us. They're not normal people.
All of those stories off the True TV website, the old Court TV website?
Crimelibrary.com.
Right. Okay. I want to go to Karen Stark, psychologist, joining us out of New York. Weigh in, Karen.
Well, Nancy, I do feel sorry. This woman seems very sad, but I have to tell you that somebody who's obsessed and intensely fascinated by crime and gore and horror, and they're not looking to understand.
Whoa, wait.
Wait,
hold on. If she got these off crime, plug it in, Liz. Isn't crimelibrary.com off of the old Court TV, True TV website? It is. I worked there 11 years. You were my shrink. On air, my expert for all those years. You're not going to get freaky stuff off that website. You're going to get true cases that have gone to court. I don't see that's that crazy.
I understand what Nancy, but that's not what I was reading. I was reading that there were also movies and books about serial killers and a lot of gore and horror. And unless you want to know what's behind, in other words, you're interested in the mind of the person or the legality.
Okay, let's get to the truth of it. What do we know, Jean Gasaris? What do we know about the material found in the Dunn home?
All right, it is a lot of cases, true life cases, but what the doctor is talking about is something that Sean Atkins had said to Hailey's uncle when they were talking about her missing in his deer hunting. He said he was obsessed with horror movies and murder movies and the Halloween movie series, that he had it all. And he was fascinated by that.
So this is Chet Atkins, the boyfriend, not Billy Dunn, the mother.
Right, exactly. Correct.
Okay, Karen Stark, I don't want to get on your bad side. I stand corrected. You're right. Because if I find out somebody's got a whole library of slice and dice, chop 'em up movies, I've got a problem. Let's see what that video is in full, Elizabeth. Take a look at this. You're taking a look at Hailey's room that we have obtained. A typical 13-year-old girl little room. Billy Dunn, have you changed anything about her room?
No, a friend of my mom's did go in and pick up some of her clothes and fold them the other day.
Unleash the lawyers. Joining us tonight, Bradford Cohen, defense attorney, Miami. Alan Ripka, defense attorney, New York. You know what, Bradford, I'd say about right now that the boyfriend is looking like quite a suspect. Again, he's not been named a suspect. He has been named a POI.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of inconsistencies with his story, and what's making this worse is the police really are dropping the ball here. They had his cell phone in their hands. They didn't take notes. They didn't copy what was on it. They didn't do anything like that, but they hand it back to him, where then he deletes stuff. Like, stuff like that is not acceptable in this type of case.
Alan Ripka, what do you make of him taking the phone back from police and then deleting phone numbers?
Well, that's certainly not a good sign, and the cops are going to use that to show they had something to hide. But I want to know the relationship between him and Hailey. What's gone on in the past?
Boyfriend friend.
Sean Adkins, he was the last person to see Hailey alive.
It really doesn't bother me because, you know, my main focus is just Hailey.
It's wonderful to know that everybody cares and everybody wants her back.
So much for anybody that happens to like the complete series of Halloween horror. I mean, jeez. Oh my gosh.